Hi, I'm Mike, the Hallows Geek, and welcome to This Week in Eek, the weekly series where I recap the top stories in Halloween and horror news of the last week. If you're watching on Friday, the day it's released, it's Fear Street Day. That's right, part 1 of Netflix's Fear Street trilogy drops today. And if you're like me, you're excited about this one. Netflix has been pushing this one hard. This week they dropped not only a trailer for the first film in the series, but they also released the first 5 minutes of the film for everybody to check out. They're pushing this trilogy hard, and that's exciting. I really hope this does well. It looks really good from what I've seen in the trailers. They're treating this a lot like Stranger Things in terms of the hype they're putting behind this. So I hope this does well. I hope we get more fun, cool horror like this, from Netflix moving forward. So I'm hoping this one's successful. I'm really pulling for this. That said, let's dive into this week's news. And speaking of Stranger Things, we're kicking it off with some Stranger Things news. We learned this week that Stranger Things is getting yet another comic book series. This time the series is going to take the Hawkins kids on a Goonies-like adventure and will take place following the events of season 2 of the Netflix series. The new series will bring Will and his friends together as they try and uncover the secrets behind a mysterious map left behind by Bob Newby. Now let's talk about this for a minute here, because what's funny to me is if you remember from season 2 of Stranger Things, the role of Bob Newby was played by Sean Astin. And Sean Astin was in Goonies, and now the kids are going on a Goonies-like adventure. Just saying, it's a little fishy, a little bit too coincidental, but whatever. That said, Stranger Things Tomb of Ybwen #1 hits comic shops on September 29th, or you can pre-order yours now from your local comic shop. And in other Stranger Things news this week, we learned that both San Francisco and New York will be getting their very own Stranger Things The Experience in 2022. Unlike the Los Angeles Stranger Things Experience that opened last year during the pandemic and was a drive-into event, the two new experiences appear to be indoor walk-through interactive events that will take visitors inside Hawkins' lab. The key art and the fact that the event won't open until 2022 suggests that this new experience might be tied to the upcoming 4th season of the Netflix series. You might recall that the teaser trailer for season 4 brought back Dr. Martin Brenner as well as Hawkins' laboratory, suggesting that the location and the infamous doctor might play a major role in the upcoming Stranger Things 4. In addition to Hawkins' lab, Stranger Things The Experience will include the mixtape area, which will include a number of interactive photo ops, food and drink, and a special Stranger Things themed bar. And while Stranger Things The Experience isn't set to open until spring of 2022, tickets for the event will be released on July 8th. Don't live in San Francisco or New York? That's okay, because the Stranger Things Experience website is giving fans the opportunity to nominate their city to be considered for the Stranger Things Experience. Currently listed cities include areas like Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Chicago, Boston, Dallas, Houston, and Miami. For more information, tickets, or to nominate your city, visit strangerthings-experience.com. And Discovery Shark Week returns this month for its 33rd year, and this year the summer programming event brings with it more content than ever before. But amongst all the real-life shark shows, this year Discovery is bringing with it some content that horror fans are sure to love. On July 14th, Discovery will air The Real Sharknado, a special featuring Sharknado's Ian Ziering and Tara Reid as they team up with real-life scientist Dr. Tristan Guttridge to explore whether or not an actual Sharknado could occur. But the horror fun doesn't stop there. To get people pumped for this year's Shark Week, Discovery and Discovery Plus will both be holding a shark film festival. As of July 1st, horror fans can stream on Discovery Plus the Sharknado series, along with Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, Mega Shark vs. Mecha Shark, Two-Headed Shark Attack, and Three-Headed Shark Attack. And on July 10th, the night before Shark Week officially begins, Discovery will air the film that left everybody terrified of great whites, Jaws. Shark Week kicks off on Sunday, July 11th. And with San Diego Comic-Con going virtual again this year, Hallmark has made the decision to release its convention exclusives online this year. Among the 4 convention exclusive announcements made this week, the one that fans of All Hallows Geek will be most excited about is probably the all-new Ecto-1 keepsake ornament. Inspired by the vehicle in the upcoming Ghostbusters Afterlife, this limited edition Ghostbusters ornament features both lights and sound. The new ornament is limited to an edition size of 3,000 and will be made available for purchase on the first day of Comic-Con at Home, the virtual San Diego Comic-Con experience, and during the first day of Comic-Con New York. Inventory of the ornament will be split amongst the 2 conventions, giving fans a fair opportunity to get their hands on this coveted ornament. Comic-Con at Home kicks off on July 23rd, which will be your first chance to get the ornament. New York Comic-Con kicks off later this year and is scheduled to kick off on October 7th in New York. And fans of the Universal Monsters and Funko Pop got some exciting news this week. Funko unveiled a collection of all-new Funko Pop pins featuring 4 of the iconic Universal Monsters characters. These massive pins of Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Monster, Dracula, and Wolfman are 4 inches tall, just like the Pop vinyl figures they're based on. Each pin features standard pin backs that allow you to attach it to a bag, put it on a corkboard, or display it wherever you'd like, but it also features a special Funko Crown pin stand which allows the pin to stand for a more dynamic display. The Universal Monsters Pop pins are available for pre-order now, but are expected to be released this August. And speaking of classic monsters, we learned earlier this year that General Mills would be celebrating 50 years of the cereal monsters with a new cereal called Monster Mash, which combines elements of Count Chocula, Boo Berry, Frankenberry, Yummy Mummy, and Fruit Brute into a single cereal. This week we learned that the 50th anniversary celebration will also include Monster Mash fruit snacks. The spooky berry-flavored fruit snacks will be shaped like your favorite cereal monsters and also include a fruit snack shaped like the Monster Cereal Castle. Details on when the snacks will be released were not readily available, but we do know that a 90-count box of the snacks will be available when they're released through Sam's Club. And finally, Night of the Living Dead is getting a rather unique adaptation this Halloween season when Warner Bros. Home Entertainment releases Night of the Animated Dead. The cartoon take on George A. Romero's zombie classic is being directed by Jason Axon and will feature the voice talents of Josh Duhamel, Dule Hill, Catherine Isabel, James Roday Rodriguez, Katie Sackhoff, Will Sasso, Jimmy Simpson, and Nancy Travis. Night of the Animated Dead will be available on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital this fall. And before we wrap it up for this week, I wanted to make sure to invite you to follow All Hallows Geek on Instagram. As you know, the Halloween shopping season is upon us, and each year I go Halloween hunting on the regular to document all of my Halloween finds at some of your favorite stores. So if you want to stay on top of all of this year's Halloween goodness, be sure to follow at All Hallows Geek over on Instagram. With that said, that's it for this week. If you enjoyed this week's show, be sure to give it a like, leave me a comment, or better yet, subscribe to make sure you always get your weekly dose of Eek. For more information on any of this week's top stories, you'll find links to the full coverage over at allhallowsgeek.com down in the description below. Until next week, keep it creepy.